Great day. Hi everybody, it's Yaz, and tonight I'm going to talk about what to do and what not to do when you're starting to date somebody, okay? I'm going to go for both the women and the men, what women should not do and what men should not do, all right? So remember these tips when you're meeting somebody, either you're meeting them online or you're getting to know them, okay? Or you're meeting them face to face, okay? As for women, everybody knows the majority of women are looking for relationships, right? Not all women, but a large percentage of women are looking for relationships. And a large percentage of men are looking for something casual, okay? They don't want the commitment. They don't want to be tied down. Now, that's not all men, but it's a lot of men, okay? So this is the problem that we're having with the whole dating scene, okay? The women are going in, they're trying to screen the guys to see if they're looking for the same things they're looking for, as far as something long term. And the men are looking for something casual and pretending to look for something more in order to date the woman, maybe get something out of her sexually, or just for something casual, okay? Because they know a lot of the women are looking for something serious. So here's the tips that I wanted to tell you guys, okay? When it comes to women, all right? And this could be partner to partner as well. It doesn't just go for men and women. It depends on who you're dealing with, right? But in general, all right, if you're a woman and you're out there and you're starting to meet people, don't tell a man, for instance, when you're first starting to get to know them, oh, well, I want a relationship and that's it. And, I'm looking for something serious, because first of all, you're going to scare the person away. All right. Even if you are looking for that, if you come off strong, you're going to turn off a lot of people, potential partners, all right? There's a lot of guys that are out there that may start out looking for something a little bit light and will like you and will want something more with you. But if you start off right off the bat being like, oh, well, I want a relationship, and if you don't want a relationship, then, don't contact me anymore, because I'm going to tell you right away, they're not going to contact you right away. And the other thing is, if you tell a man that you want a relationship right off the bat, he's liable to lie to you and say, yeah, me too, because he's looking for other kinds of benefits from you, all right, which could be sex in a lot of cases, all right? So you're better off when you first start dating somebody is get to know them, become friends with them, see what they're about, see their history, okay? That's how you start out. Don't go in with any expectations because you don't know how it's going to roll out. And like I always say in all my podcasts, you have to take it slow, all right? I know you may meet great people and you want to move forward really quickly, but I'm going to tell you, if you move forward quickly, it's going to burn out quickly. So you want to take your time. Plus, you want to make sure that this person is, telling you everything and they mean what they say, and they're not just giving you a bunch of lies to fool you to try to get some benefit off you, which is sex, all right? So don't bring up the whole relationship thing till at least 2 months down the line, all right? Go with it. See what they're about, talk to different people, keep your options open, okay? And when it comes to the guys, when you meet a woman and you think she's a really great person, all right, a lot of men lose great women because they think there's something better out there. And what they do is they may contact a woman that they meet online or that they meet in person. They may have a conversation with her, but then they may fall off and they may be contacting a million other people and contact that woman, a few days down the line, a week down the line or longer. I'm just going to tell you that if you're dealing with somebody that's a quality person that you see a potential relationship in, then guys, you have to follow up with that girl and be consistent with that girl. Because if you're not, that girl is going to know or think that you're not interested. And she's either not going to bother with you when you come back, or she's going to, give somebody else her interest, all right? So you want to make sure that you're consistent with a woman that you meet and that you like, all right? And as far as women go, you don't want to, with the women, with the guys, you don't want to keep texting these guys and, kill them with overkill. All right. Let them take the lead. Let the man take the lead. All right. Men are the hunters. So you need to fall back a little bit. Don't always respond right away and be too eager. All right. All right. Because unfortunately, dating is a game, you guys, all right? If you go out there and you just put your heart out, some people may misinterpret it and think that you're desperate, even though you're not. It may come off as desperate if you come on strong too fast, all right? So I want you to keep those things in mind. And I want you to keep in mind, too, that when it comes to relationships and it comes to dating, it's all about benefits, all right? Unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. Everybody's looking for some kind of benefit, okay? How can it benefit them? What makes you so different from the other options that are out there, all right? This is what you got to think about. When you're talking to somebody and you're having a good conversation, well, they could have a good conversation with a million other people, right? Or you're talking to somebody and let's say you're a pretty woman or a pretty girl. There's a million other pretty girls out there, all right? It's how you handle yourself. It's how you connect with that person. It's showing that person interest, but not giving them your everything. Because if you give them your everything right up front, okay, there's no mystery. There's no chase, all right? That person is going to fall back a little bit, all right? Because they feel like they've already got you. It came too easy. Unfortunately, you guys, you have to make somebody work for you, all right? Because if you don't make them work for you, they're not going to value you. And if they don't value you, they're not going to treat you as a priority in their life. Unfortunately, that is the case, all right? In a lot of instances. So you may really like somebody. You could show that person interest, but if you come on too strong or you show that you're too interested, that person may take you for granted and figure, well, she's not going anywhere. I could call her anytime. I could call her last minute on a Friday and she'll say yes, all right? So if somebody calls you last minute for a date, like, for instance, they call you 6 o'clock on a Friday night to go out on a Friday night, as much as you want to see them, you don't accept because that's showing desperation. You have to tell them you have other plans, even if you don't, all right? Because you want to show that person that you have a life, that you're busy, all right? And when it comes to men and women, plenty of men say they love independent women. They don't want a woman that's hanging around for their call, all right? That to them is a turnoff because they feel like that person has no other options. Hey everyone, I want to tell you about the Taking Sides, the Marriage Podcast. On Taking Sides, the Marriage Podcast, listeners are going to send in their relationship questions, their disputes, and their current disagreements. Hosts Dalen and Ashley Seeley, known as the Dashleys on Facebook and YouTube, they're then going to take sides and offer their opinion on the matter. The goal of this podcast is not to be divisive, but rather to learn to come together, gain your tools for making the relationship work, and learn that the best side to take is the one you come up with together, and to learn to disagree without being disagreeable. Sometimes it helps to know that you're not alone, and other couples have experienced the same issues as you do. So, listen, you have to go to Taking Sides, the podcast, you guys. If you would like to have your relationship questions answered, you need to send your questions to Taking Sides with the Dashleys at gmail.com to hear the questions answered on the next episode of Taking Sides dash the Marriage Podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. So go to Taking Sides, the Marriage Podcast. What keeps somebody interested, you guys, is when they know that you have other options. You have other men available to you that may take you out. That's going to put a fire under them to lock you down and make that date way in advance to make sure that they're going to see you. But if they think that you're always going to be available, there's no urgency. They could call you last minute, or they could not call you at all and figure I could call you in 2 weeks, and you know what? You're still going to accept that date. So those are things that you absolutely do not do, all right? And when it comes to the men, when you're dealing with women, all right, if you wait to the last minute and you're dealing with a woman that respects herself, you're going to lose a good woman that way, okay? And realize that sometimes the options that are out there are not necessarily better. The grass is not necessarily better, you guys, all right? I mean, when you find somebody that is a diamond in the rough, so to speak, but you're saying to yourself, well, let me see what else is out there. There's so many profiles out there. There's so many people in the world. You could lose that diamond, all right? And that happens to a lot of people. That happened to a very good friend of mine. She was dating a great guy, and she was still hung up on her ex, and she told the guy that she didn't want anything to do with him, you know? And within a week, he ended up meeting somebody else, and he's still with this girl 8 years later, all right? She tried contacting him, but he wouldn't even give her the time of day. And she apologized to him and told him she was sorry. You know, it was a bad time in her life. She was going through something. And you know what? He wasn't interested. Okay, so you could lose somebody that could be a potential mate by thinking that there's something better out there, for example. All right. So recognize when you meet somebody that has nice qualities to, treat them like you're interested, and not just treat them like they're on the back burner and that you'll come back to them, because when you come back to them, they're not always going to be there. All right. If they have respect for themselves, they're not going to necessarily be there waiting around for you after you look at those other options. So you need to recognize it and pursue that, and realize just because there's a lot of profiles online and a lot of, first of all, you can't go by somebody's picture, because a picture doesn't mean anything, all right? All you're seeing is the physical attraction, and a lot of times people don't always look like their pictures when you meet them too. That's another thing. And that's only half of it, you guys. It has to do a lot with the personality and the character of the person when you meet them. What kind of personality? Are they a kind-hearted person? Are they a selfish person? Are they good with money? Would they be good with your family? These are the qualities that you want to look for. Are they stable in their job or their career? All right? And how they treat you. All right? You want somebody that treats you nicely, whether you're male, female, partner to partner, okay? And you want to be with somebody that's interested in you, all right? There may be somebody that's interested in you and you're like, oh, he's all right or she's all right. Let me see what other hot person is out there. Well, you know what? That hot person may not treat you right, and probably won't, because they're going to be playing with a lot of their options. All right? So go with the people that like you, the people that are showing you interest, the people that treat you well. Okay? Because as you get to know them, you may really like them, and you might be seeing a diamond in the rough right there. So don't always look at the surface of somebody, okay? Look at the inner person as well, because you could have a beautiful, hot-looking guy or hot-looking girl, but if they have a miserable personality and they're selfish, you're not going to be happy, okay? You're not going to be happy. You want somebody that, you can enjoy your time with them. You could watch a movie with them. You could laugh with them. You could do things with them, and they're an upbeat person and they're into doing things that you like to do. This is so important, you guys, because a lot of people, they may date people that are, very nice looking on the outside, but the person may not be into doing things they want to do. They may have an attitude. Okay, they may not be that all into you, and you're chasing after somebody who's not really showing you the same kind of interest back, and you're basically going nowhere, you guys. You're going nowhere. So you want to focus on the people that are interested in you, okay? And you want to look beyond the looks. I mean, of course, you have to be physically attracted to the person, all right? I'm not saying you shouldn't have a physical attraction, but you also have to have an open mind and look at the other qualities of that person, how that person treats you, maybe how that person treats your children or your family in some cases, all right? Does that person make time for you? Does that person invest their money in you? And when I say invest money, do they want to take you out on a nice date, okay? Because how much somebody invests in you financially tells you a lot about how much they like you, all right? If they don't really like you a lot, they're not going to invest a lot financially into you, all right? They're not going to go for those expensive tickets to a concert, for example, all right? They're going to be like, let's Netflix and chill. Let's hang out. Let's link up. Let's hook up. These are people that are not investing in you, all right? You want somebody that's going to take you out on paid dates, all right? That's showing a real interest that they're trying to get to know you outside of just hanging out somewhere, all right? Whether it be hanging out in a park, hanging out at somebody's house. Those are not real dates, all right? You want a date where you go out and you do something and the person invests in you and they don't mind paying for the date. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're getting to know somebody. Go in with an open mind. Give people a chance that you normally wouldn't give a chance to, maybe if they're not quote unquote as physically attractive as you would like them to be, but maybe they have great qualities other than that, all right? And guys need to, when they see a woman that's, maybe they consider her an 8 and they're looking for a 10. Don't throw that 8 away, because you could throw that 8 away and you could end up with a 4. All right. So keep that in mind and, show interest to somebody and be consistent with it, or you're going to lose that person. I hope that helps you guys. If you like my podcast, please hit the subscribe button and share, and have a great night.